Good morning, class. I am sending this video to you so that you do not have any doubt on the topic verbs, helping verbs, modals. Helping verbs are also known as auxiliary verbs. Okay? To clear out all your doubts on these three types of verbs, I am doing a recapitulation, a short video on these three types of verbs. Okay. Let us come the verbs and its notes. And its functions. Okay. First, see. Verbs can be of how many types? One, main verbs and auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs we can also call them as helping verbs. Okay. So the main verbs and auxiliary verbs or helping verbs. Now these auxiliary verbs or helping verbs can again be divided into two. One, the primary helping verbs, and second, the modal auxiliary verbs. So, children, understand clearly. First, the verbs can be divided into two. One, the main verb, and second, the auxiliary verbs or the helping verbs. Then the auxiliary verbs again can be divided into two. One, the primary auxiliary verbs and the modal auxiliary verbs. Okay, till here it's clear, I hope so. Now, this primary auxiliary verbs can again be divided into three. I mean, there are three primary auxiliary verbs. They are the to be form of verb, to do form of verb, and to have form of verb. Fine. Verbs of two types, main verbs and auxiliary verbs. Auxiliary verbs of two types, primary auxiliary and modal auxiliary verbs. Primary auxiliary verbs are again three kinds: to be, to do, and to have. I hope it's clear till here, all of you. Now, what are these to be, to do, and to have verbs? For example, the to be verb can be divided again into three types: is, am, and are in the present form, and was and were in the past form. Okay. Similarly, to do verb can also be divided into do and does in the present form and did in the past form. Fine. To have can be divided into has and have in the present form and had in the past form. Clear? All of you till here? I hope it's clear to all of you. Now we come to modal auxiliary verbs. The modal auxiliary verbs can be many, like shall, will, would, should, may, might, can, could, must, ought to, need, dare, used to. Okay. These are the modal auxiliary verbs. Now let us come to next. So here in this slide we saw that there are primary auxiliary verbs and modal auxiliary verbs. Primary auxiliaries can be of to be verb, to do verb, to have verb, and modals can be of so many kinds. Now there is another type of verb, that is the linking verbs. Now see, the linking verbs are again the same as that of the primary auxiliary verbs. Can you see? The same is, am, are, be, were, have. So this is a form of the be verb. Okay, this is, am, are the form of the be verb, and were, have, can be, seem, and become. These also are the linking verbs. Now then, what is the difference between the linking verb and the auxiliary verb? For example, if I say that John is president of the cultural committee. So here we are not using the word is. Is a verb. We are not using is as an auxiliary verb. But we are linking John with the rest part of the sentence. So here is doing the work of a linking verb, not an auxiliary verb. Clear? Similarly, if I come to seem, she seemed nervous. So it's linking over here. The dog was hungry. Okay. So here was is a linking verb, not an auxiliary verb. Why? Because it is linking the first part of the sentence with the second part of the sentence and making a sense altogether. That is why it is working as a linking verb and not as an auxiliary verb. Giraffes have long necks. Here again, have is not an auxiliary verb. It is used as a linking verb, joining giraffes with long necks and making a meaningful sentence, that is, giraffes have long necks. I hope it's clear the difference between a linking verb and an auxiliary verb. Linking verb connects a noun or pronoun at or near the beginning of a sentence to a word at or near the end of a sentence. So what the linking verb is doing? The linking verb is joining the noun or pronoun. So here it is the noun which is at the beginning of the sentence or near the beginning. Dog is the noun. The is not the noun. Together we considering it as the first part of the sentence, but dog is the noun, so it is near the beginning of the sentence with the end of the sentence or near the end of the sentence. So this hungry is in this sentence the end of the sentence. Clear? The sky looked grey. So here the sky is the subject, looked is the linking verb and grey is the object. Okay. Similarly, John is a comedian. Joey is a comedian. Sorry. Joey is the subject. Is the linking verb and comedian is the subjective complement. Now, children, here you can understand that here these words is or looked, they are not used as an auxiliary verb. Looked is not in any way, it's not an auxiliary verb. But here is also not used as an auxiliary verb. The verb looked and is both are being used as the linking verb over here. Is it clear to all of your children? Now we come to helping verbs. Helping verbs can be divided. Now here helping verbs have been divided into three. One is the auxiliary verbs, one the modal verbs and the semi-modals. So auxiliary verbs I already explained you. Am, is, are, was, were, be or been is the form of this to be verb. Have, has and had the form of to have verb. And do, does, did are the forms of to do verb. Okay, so these are the forms of auxiliary verb. Similarly, the modals, these are the modals: can, could, may, might, will, would, shall, should, must, ought to. These are the modal verbs. And semi-modals, these are the semi-modals: need, used to, dare. Clear? I hope it's clear to all of you now. Now we will come to can and could. Can refers to present and future. Could refers to past. Both can and could can be used as request, but can is used in informal request. Could is used in polite request. Both are used for possibilities. Can is used for general statements and could is used for specific statements. Okay. Permission. Permission again, can is used for informal permission. Could is used for polite permission. And things allowed, can is used in present or in future. Could is used in past. So understand the difference between can and could. Can and could is first used differently because can is used in present or future. Could is used in past. Can is used for informal request. Could is used for polite request. Can is used for general statement. Could is used for specific statements. Can is used for informal permission. Could is used for polite permissions. And finally, can is used for present or future things which are allowed, and could is used for past things which were allowed. Understood the difference? Now, I got few queries wherein children wanted to know the meaning of need as a modal. Children, here it's very clearly written in this slide that need in the positive form, need to, it's not a modal. But it is used in affirmative sentences to express necessity or obligation. I need to cook dinner tonight. So here it's showing a compulsion or a necessity and obligation. But it's not a modal. Whereas need not is a modal and it indicates lack of obligation or necessity. You need not bring anything to the party. So now I think it's clear, children, those who were having doubts, the difference between need and need not. And finally, we come to action verbs. Verbs, a verb is an action word. What are these actions? A person who is doing any action is called a action word or a verb. Okay, that is the main verb. So the main verb comes to, these are the main verbs: crawl, crawling, crawled, hop, hopping, hopped, swim, swimming, swum, dig, digging, dug, eat, eating, eaten. So these are the main verbs. So the verb in which we can show some action, then it denotes a main verb. Nap, ride, read, jump, run. So all these are showing some actions. So they are called as the main verb. Main and helping verb. A main verb shows the action or state of being in a sentence. A helping verb works with the main verb to show when the action has occurred. Clear? With this, we come to an end of this discussion. Hope now it's clear to all of you. Thank you, children.